You know, we have come through a very difficult budget time in which a bipartisan budget was passed through both the House and the Senate, agreed to by this body, agreed to, which is Republican-controlled, agreed to by the body across the rotunda, which is Democrat-controlled. And we have just sent the last of those budgets on to the governor today. One of the previous speakers, I believe it was the first speaker, I don't know where she went to, but she referred to schools and how she was appalled, I think was the word, or something along that line, about the cuts being made to schools. Let's face it, folks, we're in tough economic times. But I think the people of this state have always done very well to the children of this state ever since I can remember. Almost half of the state tax dollars that are raised in this state go towards the education of our children, K12 and higher education. The people of the state of Michigan, when Proposal A was passed a few years ago, guaranteed certain funding going to the schools. About 99% or thereabouts of the school aid is made up of funding that the people voted on right in the Constitution. And interestingly enough, one of those areas is the income tax. A certain percentage of the income tax goes to school aid. A significant percentage of the income tax goes to school aid. And on September 30th, we had a bill put up here in this body to increase the income tax. There were only 2 legislators that voted for that. And one of the legislators that didn't vote for it joined me in voting against it because I think the taxes on our people are too high already. But that legislator got up and railed against this legislature for not funding schools. But yet, she refused to vote for the income tax. She voted against the income tax increase. And I think it's important for people to know that if you get up here and rail about not funding schools, that she had the opportunity to fund schools better, and she voted against it. And I just think that the people of the state of Michigan ought to know on where their legislators stand. I voted against the income tax increase. This legislator voted against the income tax increase. But at the same time, it's very difficult, I think, for her to get up here and state what she stated about not funding schools and it's our fault as Senate Republicans, when the other side of the aisle, only 2 votes on the other side of the aisle, voted for the income tax increase, and she was not one of those 2 votes.